Is this the weirdest playset ever made? The 1980 Darth Vader Star Destroyer from Kenner. I'm gonna do a history of this playset and show you how I got mine, but I'm also gonna tell you why I think this playset is genius. So let's go.
Activate meditation chamber.
From Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection, new Darth Vader Star Destroyer that you put together, batteries not included.
Darth Vader Star Destroyer was first released in 1980 for Kenner's Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back line of toys. It first retailed for $18.88, which in today's prices with inflation comes out to $68.93. When the development team at Kenner got the green light to concept toys for The Empire Strikes Back, they noticed that several scenes took place in Vader's Star Destroyer. This was great because, just like the Death Star in A New Hope, this would be a great setting for a playset. But a Star Destroyer is a ship, and this is what the Kenner team gave us. What some collectors call the Space Cheese Wedge. Now, I get it. It's not a vehicle. It even says it right on the box. Playset. And if you put the Death Star space station and this side by side, you can see the similar playset design mantra that they're going for. It's not trying to be an accurate scaled-down version of a Star Destroyer. It's supposed to be a cross-section of a small area. And I'm here to tell you why I think this was a genius move by the people over at Kenner. But after you see a colossal playset like the USS Flag, this massive ship seems like a sailboat. A rowboat? But first, here are the main features of this playset and some things that you probably didn't know. First, the cardboard box, which was only released in 1980 and got no reissues for The Return of the Jedi. This box only has one other variant, and it has Leia hanging upside down on a roof peg. This box was only thought to have existed in proof box art and sale samples, but collectors have shown examples of boxes with price stickers on them, confirming that they did indeed make their way to some stores. The regular issue box has a photo of the playset with a red background, which makes this toy stand out on shelves. On the back is line art depicting various features. Some of these are entertaining to read, like how Darth can increase his force power by activating the Force Light. Darth can talk to the Grand Vizier on the viewing screen, and I just like how the Grand Vizier name is trademarked. This was because when Kenner got the early drafts of the script and story, the Grand Vizier was gonna be the name of the ruler instead of the Emperor. This obviously wasn't the case, but in Star Wars Legends, the Grand Vizier was the head of the Imperial Ruling Council and reported directly to the Emperor. And inside the box, these items should have come with it. The cardboard insert, which comes in two sections. Which I love collecting these portions of the item because they are such a huge part of the nostalgia, at least for me, even though they were the first things to end up inside the trash on Christmas Day. This also came with the Empire Strikes Back mini catalog, a warning paper about the battery cap, the 3-section folded instruction manual, the sticker sheet, the top part of the meditation chamber that holds the batteries, the bottom portion of the meditation chamber. This came with 4 baggies of accessories. One bag contained the console board, 1 bulb, 1 reflector, battery cap tab, and the laser cannon hub. The second bag has the trapdoor and a retainer. The third bag has the neon hologram strip, filter cover, and window cover. And the final baggie has the 3 landing struts and the laser cannon. The main parts of the playset is the dark black plastic base, the top roof, and the front and rear walls. The meditation chamber takes 2 C batteries, and when you push on the cap, the meditation chamber glows red-orange. And the chamber fits together to mimic the scenes from the movie. There is even the hologram screen. And when Vader wants to talk to the Emperor or the Grand Vizier, the hologram screen slides out and Vader can stand on this platform that has a slider. You can have the figures escape through a hatched door. On the bottom of the playset, the 3 landing struts hold up the destroyer, and the front acts as a handle to hold the playset up and use it as a flying ship. From this handle, you can also access the cannon's hub with your fingers. Moving this hub moves the cannon around, making a clicking noise. It's not advertised on the box, but you can also attach the Millennium Falcon ship to the back of the Star Destroyer like this. This was printed in the 1980 Kenner Toy Fair catalog. I wanted to get a pristine version of this. Immaculate. My goal here is to collect them all, and I want to try to get these as complete as possible and in the best condition boxes as possible. So here is what I did different to get this one. I was driving home after work on a Friday, and that's when I've noticed a lot of auctions going on. You know, because people have had a long week and they just want to relax, unwind, and that's why I was there. I wanted to see what was selling. So I went to one of my trusted groups to see if anyone was live, and they were. So why do I say trusted group? Well, in any collecting group, there's going to be different reasons why you join in. And that's why I joined multiple. Some groups are more interactive where you can post pictures of your collection and get some cool feedback. Some are more educational where only a few people post and it's more for you to go there and consume content. But some are just straight out funny. And sometimes it's just there to get straight sales pages where you want to go buy stuff surrounding your genre. And all of them are cool. But when I want to buy high-end vintage items where the sellers should be experts in the field to even say it's complete and authentic and this is a market value right now, then you have to trust them and trust that the item is indeed what the seller says it is. Plus, you have to trust that the seller will ship your item on time and ship it in a way that doesn't damage the contents inside, whether it be a cardboard box, an acrylic, or anything that may be fragile inside. So that's what I mean by trust in who you're buying from. So on an auction from the Imperial Castle toy shop, the seller was mainly selling loose action figures and mint-on card items. And by the way, the seller and owner of that shop is also one of the people who runs the Imperial Gunnery. And if you don't know that site, go there to learn about all the accessories that come with the vintage Star Wars action figures. And if you like that site and use it often, then please leave a donation. But the cool thing about auctions on a platform like Whatnot or Facebook, it's interactive. And you can ask the sellers if they have certain items that you're looking for exactly. And more often than not, they have those items. And that's exactly what I did for this auction. I asked if they had a complete and authentic Darth Vader Star Destroyer in a box, and he happened to have one. Not only inside a box, but all unused content. And that was music to my ears. But what's the price? And it's hard to gauge prices for these since a lot of people only buy loose examples of this. So I have two tools for looking for a fair market value. And the first one is eBay. So you simply go to eBay, type in what you're looking for with specific keywords, and then this is important. You must click the sold items checkboxes because you want to see what people have recently bought it for. Recently bought it for. Not 2 years ago, not even a year ago. You want either a days or a few months ago as your data point because, like I said, it's like the stock market. These toys go up and down in value, and you want to see what other collectors are willing to pay for it. And it was hard finding posts on eBay selling that exact item in this nice of a condition. The best I could do was find complete examples selling it for $250, and that included a box, but no inserts. Alright, so I have a few data points, but not exactly the ones that describe the condition of what was selling. So you can stop there, or you can do what I do and get more data points. And in today's day and age, data is king. It's how I make decisions, just like the stock market. And I go to a site called Star Wars Tracker, and basically what it does, it takes all the data from eBay and other auction sites and it places it in one diagram for you. So we had to do a little digging, and the closest price I found for an item in the same condition was sold on eBay for just over $1,100 in 2020. So not many data points for a boxed item with unused contents, but basically this is a mint and sealed box with one piece of tape broken. I was the only person really asking for it, and he wanted to move the auction along, you can tell. So he gave me an option of $1,000, buy it now, shipping included, and the acrylic included. And I thought it was an awesome price. So I claimed the item, and my Friday got a lot better. But here is the main reason why I love auctions. Sometimes you get crazy deals, especially when the seller wants to move along the inventory, and he wants to put as many items on that sales block as possible. And when no one else is bidding for an item except you score. If you haven't tried an auction yet, then go on Facebook and see what groups are in your genre. And if you're doing this for the first time, just check them out and watch. You get a sense of the flow and how it's ran, and you notice the multiple payment structures. And most of the time, or all of the time actually, the seller will post how the shipping and payments are going to be handled. So it's kind of important to look at that first before you start bidding on items. And if you want a cool auction site to go to and one that I trust, go to the Collectors Alliance. It's a trusted app that offers premium items up for sale. And I like it because all the sellers there are trusted and experts in their field. It's a subscription-based app, but if you're like me, I think it's worth it to be on the site that has sellers and items that I want in one place, and with people who will ship my items with care. So check them out and use my code TCA-TPC-1MO for a free month to check it out, kick the tires around, and cancel anytime. Or if you want to join to save 33% on your membership, use code TCA-TPC-1YR. You'll be saving $40, bringing your fees to $79.99 a year, which over the course of a year is way lower than the price that we pay for eBay fees if you're buying or you're selling. And yes, becoming a member means that you can sell as well and avoid all those fees that other online sites charge you when you sell items. Live auctions, items for sale, and available on desktop, iPhone, and Android. It's made for collectors by collectors. So use my code and tell them that the Padawan sent you. And the first thing I look at when getting items is how well the seller packed my things up for shipping. So far, the packaging is great. Now let's just pull this out. Oh, I'm getting peanuts everywhere. If you can see the floor, there's peanuts everywhere. Seeing the contents packed up inside the box as they would have come back in the 80s is special to me. And getting these playsets in this state takes me back to my childhood. And I'm glad that they can preserve the toys in this way. But this piece is in immaculate condition, from the box, inserts, and plastic parts. And I love that this is in my collection in this state. And here is why I think that this toy is genius. The folks over at Kenner had to keep costs down, but at the same time, they designed a toy that would propel a child's imagination. How many of your parents got a microwave and before they threw out the box, you took it and you made a diorama using the box and the styrofoam, and you used your imagination to take garbage and turn it into a world? And that's what Kenner Toys did back in the day. They didn't have to spell out every detail of the ship because they stepped into a mind of a kid playing with this toy and asked, what would they do with this? And even though this is thought to be the worst and the weakest of all the playsets, at least in the vintage Kenner line, I agree, it's not a one-to-one replica of a Star Destroyer or designed in a way such as the Dagobah Action playset where you don't have to fill in the blanks of where Yoda lived, or like a Castle Grayskull or a USS Flagship where you don't have to use your imagination to imagine that playset at all. But for some of us, all we needed was a section of it, so our imagination would fill in the blanks. Anyway, I just wanted to offer that perspective to you. And the main reason why I got it is that this playset is part of the Kenner Star Wars history. And because it is an ugly piece and most collectors don't like this, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get this in a pristine condition so that children and adults generations from now can look at it and say, why? But at least they'll get to see this item and its unused contents. Is this a must for every collector? No. And I think this one is a non-essential piece if you're trying to collect vintage items. At least if you're trying not to be a completionist like me. If you get it, great. If you don't, you probably won't miss it. But it's such a unique item that you probably may want to come across it and put it in your collection one day. So let's cross this item off our list, and we got it on the Collectors Alliance for $1,000, including shipping and the acrylic case. And you can get this checklist that has all the figures, playsets, vehicles, everything. Just go to my website to get yours.
If you like this content and want to make videos like these possible, please join the community on Patreon. Membership perks include early access to see videos, member-only episodes, extra entries into giveaways, member-only live streams, member shoutouts, and free digital downloads of my collector sheets and reference guides. Go to the link in the description to become a member of the Academy.
And if you found this video interesting, please hit that like button. That does support the channel. And also, please consider subscribing if you want to see more content about everything Star Wars vintage. And as always, my friends, thank you, and I will see you next time. I'm trying not to be messy. I know there's a better way. I could just dump this all out.
If you're new to the channel, check out the welcome video, or just check out the next episode. And please subscribe if you want to follow the journey. And remember, there is no shame in being a Padawan.